Welcome to the Trading Lounge. Today was an absolute bloodbath in the small cap market today. While I did take a couple small test trades, we're effectively calling it a no trade day. My third one this week. Some of these stocks, it was hard to watch, but boy, I tell you, if I'd have went in on some of these other stocks, it's just ripping up, ripping down, and I just don't know if I would have made it out alive today. I'd love to go over those trades with you all. My name is Jesse Nelson. I built this channel to take this small account to $100,000 as fast as possible as a rookie day trader. We'll just go right to the data screen real quick, and then we'll go into some of the stuff we saw today. But so far on the account, since December, the account is up $1,500. Started off real hot in December. Put $1,000 in the account, doubled it in what felt like a month. Thought I was hot. Didn't really know anything about trading. The market cooled off. Didn't really understand how that worked. Lost quite a bit of money in February. You can kind of see that dip down in there. We were in a drawdown and slowly kind of crawling out of that drawdown. And then last week I lost. I had a $300 day. I lost it all over a couple days. And then this week we're up like $133 after I set some very strict rules for myself. And I have not traded outside of those rules today, minus a couple little test trades that I've been working on that we're not really counting as trades. And I'll get into that. But yeah, so here are here's the rules. Let's talk about the rules first that I've kind of set for myself. I'm going to move this over right here, just to make it a little bit easier for me to see, and we'll make it a little bigger. And so these are the rules I've got going on for myself this week. And if they don't fit this criteria, I'm not trading it. For the most part. So we got low float. So anything below 20 million, preferably 10 million. Definitely under 5 million. It's got to have breaking news. I'm not sure. This week I chose not to trade continuation, and which today would have been the day I would have wanted to trade continuation. And it's got to be a $1 to $6 unless it's very clear. If it can be over $6 or under $6, as long as a lot of eyes are on it. My entry would be the first candle to make a new high after a pullback on the initial breakout with volume. And no trades right at 4 a.m. Those are just the rules. I have West Coast time. Those are what I've set for myself based on some losses over the last couple of weeks. And, so far, that's played out. So here's the scanner setup I used today. What I've got on the left here is day trade strategies. Hold on a sec. He's going to butcher me here. What is this again? Daytradestrategies.net? Yeah, daytradestrategies.net. And I really have enjoyed having this as kind of like my backup scanner. It's not my primary scanner. It is my backup scanner. It does have a couple features I love, like the small cap gauge, which updates live. And then it also has news and low float and all the things you'd love to have in a scanner. And it's actually working really well. About a month ago, I would have told you this thing was kind of more in like a beta phase, but a lot of work has gone into this scanner. And I've got it running alongside my favorite scanner, which is the ChartWatcher's scanner. And it's working really, really well. And so I'd be very comfortable using it as like a backup scanner if my main scanner went down, or a primary scanner if something like ChartWatchers is not something that you need. I'm not promoting either of these right now. I just love them both. So that's what I have going on. I also introduced this thing called Squawk. Look, I don't know a lot about Squawk, but I do know that whoever's talking through this is sometimes faster than the news I'm getting on any of my scanners, which is kind of rad, especially when it comes to earnings. But like it'd be like some news come across on a low float stock, and you hear the ticker and you hear the news, and then you're like, where? Okay, well, let me pull it up real quick. You pull it up and you look at it, and all of a sudden it hits the scanners, and I'm like, oh wow, this is kind of cool actually. I'll put it up here so you guys, in case he talks while we're doing this, you can hear him. He's got his keyboard open now, but just so you guys can hear like what actually happens. We'll let one fly, if it flies. I hear him typing right now, which is kind of annoying, so we might not let it fly. Yeah, I'm just not gonna let that fly. I think it's gonna be kind of interrupting, but maybe one of these days I'll record one for you guys and then play it so you guys can hear it. But so the other scanner, ChartWatcher, I've loved. Now here's the deal with this scanner. Up until this morning, there was an issue with float, where every once in a while I'd get a stock that didn't show up on the scanner, but in the Discord is being traded by people, and I go look, and it's low float, but this scanner is not showing the proper float. They fixed that. They put an update out. I did some verifying, and so far it looks accurate. That excites me because that was my only gripe about this platform. Not enough to leave it, but enough to question it. So I've got my penny stock running up scanner here, my small cap top gainer scanner here, running up here, and then for the non-penny stock, so anything between $1 and $20, high of day momentum here, my quotes, my news, and then it's just a stock that or it's just a scanner that I've loved. So let's get into the stocks today. The first one, which was there was a couple stocks I think were obvious stocks today. HCSA was one of them. I think we can just go into, because I did trade this, but after the bell as part of some testing. So I'll do those at the very end. So we'll just kind of go through this. Well, this stock right here was hard. This is going to answer a question that somebody asked me on YouTube this morning. I think his question was, did I trade this move? Let's pull this up right here. Did I trade this move right here on HCAI? So HCAI was I'm fairly confident that there was no news. There was no direct news on the stock. There might have been something I'm missing, maybe some other news I don't know about, but so this is 7 o'clock right here, 7 a.m. So here is kind of like where I start trading. I also have my Webull account, and on my Webull account, I traded something different. So I can trade before 4 a.m. on that account, and I actually lost like $20 on that account, which is kind of annoying. But this thing rips up here. It's on the scanner at the start of the day. I'm watching it, and it's pushing up right here, breaking through VWAP. Then it's past 7 o'clock. This thing goes from $7 all the way up to $10, and I'm literally staring at it. But it wasn't within my rule set. 1, the stock price was too high. 2, it was a continuation trade. There was no breaking news in the moment that caused this rip. And those are kind of two of the main things that I've been following on this week. And it's really unfortunate because it made some great moves. It comes back down. It comes back over VWAP right here. And VWAP is something that I want to start trading more often. I watched this happen. Actually, it was called out in Discord as this candle was breaking VWAP, and I pulled it up. And then this candle opened and just ripped up. You get a nice pullback, a nice rip up again. These are dollars, by the way. This is $9. This is $10.55. Nice little pullback here. Rips up again. Comes again, rips up again. I mean, this thing is just scooting, right? And then I ended up trading kind of this section for this halt as like a little test trade, and I'll get into those trades. So it was really unfortunate. I wrote down it tested my will. Like the fear of missing out was hitting me really hard. There was certainly opportunities to make money there. And on those breaks of VWAP, and then it didn't fit the rule set. It just wasn't there. And so I'm just going to stay true to that this week, and that's okay, And so the other stock was, let's pull that up, FATN. This one, let me pull, what was this? Yeah, right here. God, this thing is just choppy. And a lot of money was made on this stock today, but I do not believe, let me look and see. Yeah, another one. So there was no news on this stock, not that I know of. I mean, unless I'm missing something. This is yesterday, so this is a continuation trade, and this is right after the bell right here. This is 7 o'clock, so it goes from $3 up to $3.40. This is a continuation trade, and when I go back to trading continuation trades, I'll make these trades. But what's been happening with my continuation trade, especially this is a good example because these are tops right here, so it came up, tested the high. Then 7 o'clock in the morning is in this range when I get 4 o'clock in the morning, technically, right? So 4 a.m. my time. It comes up and retests. Usually, what's been happening is some things will retest this, they'll just shoot back down, but it shot right through it. And so, I don't know, it didn't fit my rule set because it didn't have breaking news today, and that's what I wanted. So that's why I didn't trade it today. Money on the table, but not really. Not really. And then BIYA was another one. I didn't type that in right. 1 second. Come on. Hey. All right, fine. BIYA. Let's make that bigger. And then, this one right here. Where are you at? Right here. This was at 7:13. This one didn't have news either, did it? Or I'm gonna feel a little. Another one. 4:28. Unless I'm not seeing the news. I've looked at multiple sources. There's no news here on this stock. And other than that, it fits the criteria. It comes up, boom, pull back $2, goes all the way up to $2.30. I did write something down on this stock. Was it this one? No news and big sellers. Yeah. So up in this $2.30 range, up in this range right in here. On the ask, I was seeing, so right here, I was seeing big sellers. And that also made it so that I didn't want to go into the stock. So not only did it not have news, there were big sellers on here. Like we're talking, so this says 40, but we're talking like, I think it was, 20,000. I forget what the number was, but big sellers, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't trade it. And then also a TOMZ. And these are going to be on my penny stock scanner over here. Right here is the TOMZ hit my scanner, PMEC, but we'll do this one first. And this is what I started seeing. This had news, by the way. And this is what it looked like. And I was ready. I was ready to pull the trigger. So this thing pumps up, hits 98 cents, a nice little pullback. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is going to be the one. It opens. It rises up a tad bit, and because I was disciplined yesterday, it saved me from losing a lot of money because I almost went in early on a trade yesterday. And so today I was like, I am not going in early. I'm not going to try to get in right here at 93 cents in assuming it's going to break 98. It needs to break 98 cents. It doesn't. It shoots right back down, flushes out. Just blood. Just absolute blood. Same thing with why isn't this feature working? I'll have to let them know that. Same with VS. This one hits. I think it was this one. Oh, this doesn't look. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, right here. VS right here. This one also didn't have a bunch of volume, I don't think. But the same thing kind of happens here. This one was low volume. I don't think I would have traded it, but it did pull up on the scanner. I was looking at it. It went from $1.22 up to $1.46. I was looking to see if this was going to open and break the high. Maybe some volume would creep in. It didn't. It opened, flushed right back down. Just blood. I mean, it's insane, man. And then we had CANF. And this one was a contender. The only issue with CANF, I don't think it had news. It did have news. It had, yes, today's the 30th. It did have news. I'll pull the news up. Oh yeah, okay. This is really easy to understand why I didn't trade this initially. So, okay, the news on this stock is, let me pull this over to scanner. We'll pull the news up right here and right here. So, CanFight reports positive phase 2 data with whoever in pancreatic cancer. 35% of patients remain on therapy, including one beyond 60 months. So there was some news this morning on the stock. And it comes right up through here. And then I was thinking it's just really low volume. Like this is insanely low volume on this candle. So like I'm not ready to get in on that kind of volume. So I'm waiting. I'm hoping that this candle opens with some good volume and goes above this. It opens, it shoots up to 429 really fast and flushes back down like blink of an eye. Like blink of an eye. And I am so glad I did not get in on this stock. It just wasn't lining up. The volume profile wasn't lining up for me. And then in this zone, I was also seeing big sellers on the ask. And I saw that all the way through all these topping tails. Look at all these topping tails right here. That's ugly. That is an ugly, ugly, ugly 1 minute chart. And this whole time I'm seeing big sellers on the ask. Huge. So I'm like, I can't justify this. Now it got a little cleaner over here, but now we're in continuation, right? And I decided not to trade continuation. And I would have loved to have traded continuation a couple times today, but my method this week was the initial breaking news, that initial rip, trading that rip, and it just didn't happen for me today, and really yesterday either when you look at it. So those are kind of the stocks. The one I really was interested in, I circled it here, VIVK. This one had hit the scanner with news. Let's pull it up right here, and there wasn't really. You can see I had it marked off actually. Initially had some low volume. This is kind of low volume. We're not even over 25K here. This one, what's this one? This one is 60K. So, and then it wasn't until this one, which had 200K. So I was thinking it wasn't going to work at all because these are really low volume candles. And so I wasn't really sure. And so this thing comes up, it has a pullback, comes down, and then the candle opens wherever it opened. Looks like it opened here, so maybe it gapped up. And then I think it came down a little bit. I don't remember. Well, is that true? I don't remember exactly how this happened, but I do remember watching it in this zone and thinking to myself, okay, if it goes over 276, maybe I get in. I'm not really sure. It pops over 276 and just pops right back down. And there was a moment here where I thought, there I could have made a trade. Now, I mean, it fit all the criteria. It fit at all. It just, there was no massive sellers on the ask. Like it just didn't have the movement that I was looking for. Like it just wasn't really doing what I wanted in the moment. And I'm like, I don't really know. And it just went up and came back down. And I do think there was like, okay, that one is a risk that I could have and probably should have taken, especially because I'm pretty quick to get in and out. And just knowing what I knew about the market today, just about it being kind of red, was like, I would have got out right away. We wouldn't have been hanging around at all. And so that might have been one missed opportunity. But I mean, if you look at this chart, this is, I mean, are we really calling this a missed opportunity? This is an ugly chart. I mean, huge topping tail here and then just flushes right back down. I mean, there's nothing great about this chart, right? So that's what I traded today. And I ended up doing a couple trades up here on BIYA and HCAI with very small share size. I did one trade each as they were either coming out of halts. I'm trying to work on like my halt trading and my halt like mindset. And even if it doesn't go well, I just want to make sure I'm getting out at the right time and a few other things. And so I'll show you guys those real quick because it gives me something to talk about. HCAI. And yeah, right here is kind of where I went in. So yeah, it opens up, it halts right here. I see the resumption price is like up here at 1250. So, what I'm learning about halts is you kind of want to be in like before the first halt, right? I mean, there's definitely plays to be made outside of that, but I would have loved to have been. I was looking at a different stock actually when this happened, but this thing climbs up. I see this. The halt's 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it gaps up right here. I forget where it opened. I forget exactly where it opened, but and then I get in. I think this candle. Let me take a look. Let's just be accurate here. HCA. I got in at 942. I think I was pretty close. Yeah, I was pretty close. Yeah. So I got in on this candle, right? Was it 942? I thought it was 943. 942, it's just before. Okay, that's fine. Right here. So I got in kind of on this, as this candle was making a little bit of a move a little bit higher here. I got in and I was thinking it was going to push up. And then this candle opened and I just said, okay, I'm going to make my stop the bottom of my candle that I entered at, which was like 1250. I wanted to give it a chance. I have small size and no big deal. And I was hoping that it would go up into a halt. It dives down. As soon as it breaks my stop, I just get out. And then, of course, a couple candles later, it rips up. It didn't. I don't think it halted right here, but it did rip up quite a bit. No big deal. And then BIYA, I did the same thing. I went in at 244 actually on this one, trying to get into that halt. It didn't halt actually. Yeah, so right in this range. Which candle was it again? It was 942.56. What I don't like about these is like both of these I got in right. Well, with this one specifically, I got in right at the end of a candle. I mean, heaven forbid I wait a few seconds, but you just don't know if it's ripping up into a halt. I was trying to get in and out whenever I could before the halt happened. So you see volume, buy in, sell before the halt actually happens. That's what I was trying to do. Then if I get caught in a halt, I'll just watch my level 2 and see if I can, prepare to get out of it basically. So yeah, 942 on this halt, which was this candle, right? 942? Oh no, wrong one. 932. 932. So yeah, this candle right here. So, as this candle came up, I should have got in there. I'm like, just going to verify. I was like, well, maybe when this candle gets above here, I'll get in. I waited. So as this candle's moving up, I got in somewhere and then it goes up a little higher and then starts to dive down. I'm like, well, I'll hold on to this. And as soon as I see the first kind of hesitation, I'll just get out. And so, I ended up getting out somewhere in this zone for like a break-even spot. And then I held like the last little bit, which was not very many shares. And as soon as I saw this go red, I got out as fast as possible. So those were a couple of the trades that I made today. I'm not really counting those trades as trades as far as like data goes or anything like that. They're just little tiny test trades, and I'll just being transparent about that. Like I did some test trades on this account yesterday, small size, very, very small size, very low risk on some earnings tactics I'm working on, and made like $8. So this is kind of like a wash, and I wasn't going to really worry about these either way, but technically, really, for the goals of this account, this is more of a no trade day. That's how I'm reporting it, because it really was. Boy, it was a bloodbath out there. I hope you guys kept your capital safe, because boy, if you're green this morning, good on you. Good on you. There were some good continuation moves. It just didn't fit the criteria. It was really hard to stay disciplined today, but gosh, man, I'm hoping that discipline, pays dividends in the end. I don't like having 3 no trade days in a week though, but better than yesterday. Last week I had 2 big red days and 1 green day, and I was red on the week. This week right now I'm up $133. I'd love to be more, but you know what? Maybe tomorrow we get another trade, make a little bit more money, and we have a red week, which would be wonderful. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.